Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year!
And welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to The English Couple.
It's amazing how they do that, isn't it?
It is.
It's
amazing
clever.
how they do that.
Yeah, somebody up there in the wherever. Anyway, welcome along to another show, first of the year.
First pinch punch.
First day of the month.
year.
Oh, yes.
It's not the first of the month.
No, because it's a different day, isn't it?
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well done.
So today, what we have been pacing up and down.
Wondering what we were going to do.
Oh, we could do this. We could do that. I was thinking of we could sit in a canoe going up the
Thames?
Well, I was thinking of the Amazon.
Ada?
Yeah, the Amazon rainforest, sort of with crocodiles yapping at our toes. And I sort of discounted that because it's a bit of a trek. And then there was, we could have climbed up to the top of, what mountains are there in England? The Downs.
Ben Nevis, no, that's Scotland.
Yes, we could, anyway, we
Yay me.
discounted that. We could sit in a bivouac in a big high wind. No, we're still here.
Yeah. You're firing on all cylinders, aren't you?
Someone's got to fire them. So, so we thought, actually, beginning of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, so normally people think up New Year's resolutions.
Have you made any New Year's resolutions?
No, because actually I don't believe in them.
You don't believe in New Year's resolutions?
Well, not
I've got a
really
long
something to
list of
believe in
them.
or not, but
Oh,
yeah.
oh okay. So have you tried them then?
Yes, it's because every time I set myself a New Year's resolution, I will always let myself down because I put too much pressure on myself.
What, like this?
Yeah, just like that. I'm glad you knew what I meant. Anyway.
Yes, I think most people put pressure on them. They join the gym, don't they? They go running for a day, and then they realise, God, blimey, this is all a bit too much. Is that you? Have you done that?
I think everyone has done it at least once in their lives, and a lot of people don't even bother.
So
if they're going to do something, they'll do it any time of year.
Exactly. There's never the right time to start anything, is it?
No.
Although some people do I think they just see that as a marker and they go, okay.
It is an easier marker, isn't it, in that way?
Beginning
so I
of the
get
year.
that, but...
And maybe, though, they're thinking in March, oh, yes, I should do this at the beginning of next year as a good marker. I'll start in March, in January.
In January.
And then they've got however many months that is, 9 months, 10 months.
Stay entrenched in whatever habit it is you want to kick.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, so essentially, I don't like to set myself resolutions.
No.
But I have aims and goals for the year, absolutely.
Oh, good. Well, let's find out what those are, shall we? What aims and goals have you got?
Well, I've kind of been getting a little bit of a taste for my own channel.
What? A taste for your own channel? You've been nibbling away at your YouTube channel? Wow.
Sorry. That's why I don't have much on it.
So yes, tell what's your YouTube channel about them for those wonderful people who are in the ignorant.
In the Vogue sphere? No,
yeah,
the YouTube sphere.
People who do not know, who've come along and they go, "What? You've got a channel? You've got a channel?"
Well, everyone's got a channel, but not everyone puts stuff on it. But I've got about 6, 7 videos now, I think.
Yes.
And and I'm getting a little bit of overflow of new subscribers who are coming just
And that's
because
good,
through
you're lovely.
Yeah, through your channel and through this channel.
Yeah.
And
it's good to see. But what do you do on your channel? What's it about? Are you a mountaineer? Are you a
Well, no,
ferret fancier?
It's just me, There's predominantly, I think it's going to be music and animals.
Oh, not musical animals.
Oh,
You
it
could get a
depends if I
cat
find
playing a
musical
violin.
I could, there was a fellow that plays piano to elephants.
Oh yes.
And there's someone else who goes and plays a harp to the deer in the nearby park where she lives. And there's all sorts of things like that. But, that's a possibility.
I could play a kazoo to gorillas. Is that any good?
Mind you, if I sing too much and sing something too soulful around one of my female cats, Emerald, she gets really upset. She thinks I'm dying.
Well, is that because you're singing a sort of miserable song?
No, it's because when she was young, she got herself trapped in. I had some net curtains over a double door at the back of the house. No. But she had been, she had torn it up overnight, and she'd gotten herself tangled in it.
Yes.
She was hanging by the was it the neck or the? I think it was the neck, or it might have been an arm like that. But she was really panicking.
And so you just played a song?
No. So I came downstairs, but to settle her, I was singing gently to her.
Right. You should have released her first, though. I think.
No,
that
I
would have...
was.
Oh, okay.
You know, the first thing is to take the weight off her, and then then try and cut it off, and blah blah blah.
Oh,
but
and
anyway,
then sang
but
to
the fact is that there were several times during her youth where I'd sung to her.
Yes.
And now she associates that with times of need.
Right.
So she gets really upset when I sing. She thinks,
I see.
"Oh, mummy, it's all right. You're not going to die."
But your channel's not about singing
No.
to distressed animals as
No,
they're sort of
it's
in
not,
their
it's
last
not.
throes of life.
No.
No, thank God for that. So,
No, it could be.
Yes, but so you've got your ukulele, haven't you?
I have got my ukulele.
And you're doing. I don't know what keeps scratching my head. It's like, it's all these knits. I've got these wonderful knits that I keep as presents.
You're not trying to pick accidentally.
No, I'm not picking anything. Just
You haven't
picking on
savaged
you.
yourself. Picking on me and picking on you. I'm picking on my mandolin. It's not a mandolin.
not a
It's a
mandolin,
ukulele.
it's a
I don't use a pick with my mandolin.
Yeah.
Ukulele.
Thanks.
Anyway,
Anyway.
well, this year I'm going to try very hard to know the difference between a ukulele and a mandolin, and know when an animal's distressed and when it's not.
Yeah, good. Well, there we are. That's a
I
start,
think I've
isn't it?
established both of those already, but
So,
never mind.
yeah, so you're going to play us a song? Is that what you're going to do? Would you tell us about your channel? And
Well, yeah,
play a
with
song?
my channel, yes, I've been building up, the last couple of videos, I've been building up talking about how I came to be playing the ukulele
Yes.
as opposed to the violin, the recorder, or the mandolin.
Yes.
But the next level, the next stage, I think, is to talk about what I've learned on this, what I aim to learn this year, and what I'm,
The thing is, you have improved ever so much, because we used to do something called the Vogue Show, which we may well be bringing back in due course. And on that, you would do a few songs, wouldn't
Yes.
you? Live, on a live stream.
I was rubbish.
And people were...
Ding,
well, no,
ding,
you
ding,
weren't, you weren't rubbish.
ding, 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 ding.
But you have, I mean, looking back at some of those things now, and then because we are together quite a lot of the time, at least 5 minutes in the day, and you have improved brilliantly.
Thank you. Yeah, I certainly feel like I have, and I feel that bit more confidence. And actually, listening back to a bit I did, and I think it's the last video I did on my channel, late Christmas wishes, and I was actually.
You impressed with yourself.
I really actually enjoyed that little. It was about 10 to 15 seconds of. And I was like, "Oh!"
It looked like you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I looked and sounded like I knew what I was
yeah,
doing.
well,
But
and you're getting there. And
I could do this. I could actually do this.
So you're going to play us something?
Oh, go on then. Let's try. Now, one of the things I've been doing though is using my second finger when I should be using my third finger. So that's a key thing. If you're going to start, make
use
sure
the
you
right
use
finger.
the right finger. Makes it easier when you carry on for the next level. Right, so.
Here we go.
I got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bullet whiskey for the way. And I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say?
Leaving
When
tomorrow.
I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
No.
You're gonna miss me by my hair, you're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, I don't remember what that one is. I think it's that one. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. The pressure of being on.
Pressure of being on
It's
camera
being next
doing
to your
it.
lovely self,
Oh, I
and
know.
they-
And taking a mickey.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry about it.
that's all right. Anyways,
Yeah, so do check out Julia's channel, because you'll be able to see her improvement, because I know you're going to improve. It's going to be
yeah,
fantastic.
over the next year, there should be some.
So
touching
much
wood.
so, I have booked already the London Palladium, and we've got the posters going out, so you'll be able to
Shut
come
up, stop taking
and
me.
eat. No, why not? You have to kind of have goals, don't you? And you go, I'm going to be good enough to do at least a set at the local pub in 18 years' time. No, you're going to get there. You're going to be brilliant.
I mean, I'd love to be able to start gigging next year, and earn a bit more money.
Earn some money. Yeah, well, we've all got to earn some money.
I'm not good at anything else, so.
You are. Don't be so silly. So we also have we have a boat trip, another
We
boat trip
do, yay!
this
Booked
year,
in.
booked in with Ed. And Ed Sage came over the other day, bringing a bottle of port and some cheese. And I was he came over. Unfortunately, you weren't around.
No.
But we discussed all the possibilities and the various improvements he's making to his boats. It's going to be very exciting, and we're going to put it on the Kennet and Avon Canal. So if you didn't see the Thames trip that we did, it's on the Richard Vobes channel. Just put in, but if you just put it into YouTube, Richard and Julia and Thames, it'll come up.
I'll have to make a playlist on this channel to put them all in to
Oh,
lead
yeah,
everyone to it, won't
yeah.
I? At some point.
Excellent.
At some point.
So that we've got that coming up, and of course we're going to go and do some van stuff. So if you're a bit confused, we used to do a lot of that over the last few years on the other channel. The other channel's gone in a slightly different direction, well, majorly different direction.
I was gonna say, Understatement.
That's probably going to continue for a while because it's supporting this channel basically and introducing us to a whole different audience who may not even thought about coming to this channel.
And never mind all that. There's a need. People need it, and it's been clear.
Yeah, so
they've made it quite clear. They need you.
They need it.
They do.
I know a lot of people perhaps don't want that, so and that's why we do this.
But that's why this is here. If you want to carry on watching that, we will get into more going out this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to keep that because we love all that, and it just seemed that we couldn't run the two on the same channel. So as you can see,
no, it didn't seem fair on this stuff.
Yeah, and so at the moment we are still stuck on the sofa doing stuff like this, but we will be going on our campsite stuff, and hopefully with old Tim Tricker and people like Nigel Sadler and Richard Suggett and all the others.
Happy campers.
All our happy campers, definitely.
Yeah.
So we've got that sort of, more of that, because we sort of only really dipped our toe in all of those things.
Yeah.
And
it was a funny year last year, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a funny year.
It was such a funny year.
I laughed my socks.
Oh, we did laugh and we laughed.
And
then we moved on.
Do you remember we did one of the videos that we did with you know, that lovely couple in there. What's their name? I want to say Marvin, but his name's not Marvin. I want to say Gwendolyn, and her name's not Gwendolyn. Barbara and Vernon.
Barbara and Vernon.
We knew.
Well done. I'm actually really impressed with that.
No, I'm not good with names.
No, he's not.
What's your name again?
Oh, yeah. Shut up.
Yes, and they came along with their wacky little thing. And their camper van.
Thing?
Yeah,
it's not that wacky, but it's quirky and it's fantastic.
Very cute, love it. And then they had a tent on the back, and that's something that we were thinking. Oh yes, we want a sort of a van tent, so that when your kids come along, there's more space, and we can cook out in the great outdoors.
Sorry, I only slightly had a heart attack when you said when the kids come along.
We put them in boxes and have them sedated.
Oh shit. People actually take you seriously. People don't know when you're joking for some reason.
What? You don't know that I'm joking? You put them in a box and sedate them?
I know you're joking.
Yeah, what we'll do is put them in a basket in a hot air balloon and just, you know...
they would love that.
That's what I mean. They would love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's my youngest's favourite saying at the minute.
Yeah. So we got all of that to look forward to.
There's also, I mean, you're looking extremely dapper.
Thank you very much.
And I've been trying to hold up to standard.
Well, I have to impress you because one day you'll realise that I'm some ugly old fart and you're not that interested in me.
Don't be silly.
So one has to keep wooing the woman of your dreams.
Well, likewise, one has to keep wooing the man of her dreams.
Yeah, but he hasn't turned up yet, has he? So in the meantime, I'm taking advantage.
I'll keep on. Yeah. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is I'm still trying to develop my little style.
My little style, as opposed to my little pony.
Shut up. I'm on it. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I actually got some very lovely clothes for my birthday and Christmas, because my birthday's not too far ahead of Christmas. And I was desperate, and I loved these clothes in the catalogues and everything, and I got them, absolutely thoroughly pleased with them. But
famous brand as well.
Yes, which I won't mention.
No.
But then I was a little bit disappointed realising that it comes from China, Indonesia, this, that and the other, mostly China. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to be supporting that particular country. I'd much rather be supporting England in English-made stuff. Failing that, British, absolutely British. You know, so I want to know that the fabrics I'm using, wearing, come from this country and have been made in sustainable ways, things like that. So I want to be making my own clothes, really.
Well, I think that's very laudable.
Yeah,
I've got
this timeless image in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to hopefully try and put that out.
Because in the old days, if you go back a few hundred years, back into the Industrial Revolution, all different regions of England and, of course, Britain had people who were doing different types of material. I think was it Leicester that did gloves, and you had others that were doing all sorts of cotton or
linens, wools. And
twills. Is it twills? And the Scottish Highlands had the tweeds and all of that from the wool. And we were really specialists, and people would come to us, and we'd invented most of this stuff. And then, of course, we exported it like we do with a lot of our food as well. We exported it, and we no longer do it, which is such a shame. because it made us proud. It was proud to be English, proud to be British. And now, and I dare say that all that I'm wearing is probably not made in this country. It's very difficult. My tweed jacket, which I haven't put on today, is, it's not made in England, but it's made in Scotland. And that's a Harris tweed, and that's beautiful. And it's so good, but it's very expensive. That is the trouble.
Well, rightly so, to be honest, because, it is a bespoke, not bespoke, but... Well, it's special, isn't it?
And one of the things that we've come, I think, in this country, and I don't want to get onto a political spout here.
Not on this channel.
Not on this channel, but like with so many things, we've become very disposable and consumer-centric. And if you go back again in history, people only had 2 sets of clothes. They had their working clothes and everyday clothes, which they pretty much lived in, and then they would have their Sunday best. And that was it, people couldn't afford that. And because they couldn't afford that, they really had a bit more respect for their outfits and clothes, although, and they would wear them to death. Whereas we're just, it's chuck it away, which is why I buy a lot second hand.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of using charity shops in that way. You can get some lovely bits in there. But the trouble is, you often have to trawl through many of them to get just what you're
looking for. But obviously, if you can make and design, and I know you follow a couple of people on YouTube who do exactly that for period stuff.
Yeah. There's a particular lass that I've recently discovered that she's been through about 2 or 3 years ago what I'm kind of coming to now. So I hope I can do her proud someday by saying, by the way, you kind of helped me get to this bit.
I mean, I think for men, unless you're doing something very avant-garde, we interviewed a chap some years ago now who's
doing very well for himself
well, who only dresses in Regency clothes. And
impeccable.
And he makes them all himself. He's only a young fella, and he does it all from scratch. And he's built up a business, and people ask him to make stuff, and that's his business. But so men generally are a little under provided with stuff, but there is stuff, but again, it's a lot of it's money.
It's really annoying as the mother of 2 boys. When you go shopping for clothes for them, because as you know, children grow very quickly and they need new clothes quite frequently. So and you walk in and there's row upon row upon row and aisle upon aisle of girl clothing. Lots of lovely, beautiful dresses and leggings and jeans and skirts and tops and all of this. What's there for boys? One aisle, one lane.
One aisle, and it's all identikit type stuff, isn't it?
Just with a different print on it.
Yeah.
What? There's no imagination for the lads.
And I think it's a shame because, I mean, fashion is a big industry in this country, but it all just looks so, I don't know, just sloppy.
It's almost no wonder that boys, want to try on some of the girl clothes.
Well,
no, seriously, as kids, they should be allowed to experiment like that because you get out of the system to a degree.
Yes, exactly.
Some people it suits and it's part of their personality forever, and that's something beautiful. But the thing I was going to get to was, yes, this lad you were talking about, who's at the Regency clothing.
Yeah.
Recently, he made a beautiful outfit for his new beau. Well, new beau, they've been together for a little while, and it was such a beautiful moment. And I hope to be doing that for you.
Well, make me a beautiful beau.
Yes, but speaking of, we actually need to adjust the buttons on this, isn't it?
Yes, your mother very generously bought this waistcoat. Thank you very much, Helen, if you're watching.
And it is lovely. You're quite particular on what kind of waistcoat you like, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, but this was actually one of the last on the shelf as such.
It was just a size
slightly a bit too small, but just a slight adjustment should be.
It's funny because I do feel like the waistcoats when they're like this,
they do bring you out, don't they?
Yeah, they bring you out, but they're a bit like corsets.
Yes, exactly what I mean.
And so you can understand what women would like, but men were wearing the same thing, and it feels nice and tight. And then when you take them off at the end of the day, if you've been in it all day, you do feel like it's all a flab and rings of whatever.
Ladies over-the-shoulder boulder holders do the same thing. Take that off and go,
whereas, when you're sort of up like this, and it does try to... I'm slouching there because I don't want my head to disappear in the frame. But, yes, it does sort of hold you up a bit better, which is rather nice. And people always notice, and they always say, oh, Richard, you're looking very dapper. And it's quite nice because most people go out and they bung on their clothes, and most people don't really know, unless you've got a very stylish jacket or something different. Whereas I think if you make a bit of an effort with how you present yourself to the world, people do notice.
Yes.
And go, look, there's that pillock who's got a bloody cravat on again. That's how they notice, and they laugh and throw things at you.
Oh, shush.
Get out of it. Swines.
I don't see any rotten tomato stains on your jacket.
Haven't been out. Don't go out. Don't go out. They're all pelting me with it. So anyway, so that's another thing that we're going to do, looking at more clothes and things and iconic
making
stuff.
them. Because you've got a sewing machine, I don't.
Yes, well, you're very welcome to use it.
My mum has a sewing machine, and I'll probably lean on her quite a bit for some lessons.
Yes.
But we do have the lovely, mind you, the lovely Tim and Rachel are going to be moving up to, well, they're moving away, aren't they?
They're moving somewhere.
Ultimately.
Well, yeah, we can't say much more than that at the moment.
No.
But so they may not be as available.
But she's a very, very adept seamstress too.
Yes, absolutely.
So-
She got my bobbins out of trouble when I was stuck.
Oh, we're not that kind of couple.
I didn't tell you about that, did I?
She's a good buddy. She would have told me.
Yeah, she would have told you. Anyway,
Indeed.
it's always good to change
Button
the
your
colour of
lip.
your thread. Yeah. So, and I'm just trying to think what else we've got. So, a bit more travelling, assuming we don't all get locked down with this new sort of variant of COVID that's supposed to affect your brain. That won't affect my brain. It's already been affected.
I was going to say, there's nothing wrong with British beef.
Nick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've got a bit too carried away there.
And of course, we're very open to ideas and suggestions and things. Some time ago we were bought, and I don't think it's probably available now to us. Because that was just before COVID started. A trip in a hot air balloon, a day in a hot air balloon. It was very kind of one of our generous viewers bought that. And it's probably, in the eons of time and not being able to do it and being pushed back and blah blah blah. But those like adventures would be fun to do. Because I know you'd love to see us broadcasting from a balloon way up above the sky, looking down at the curve of the Earth, which would be quite fun, would it not? And
It's
other
always
things.
fun looking at the curve of the Earth.
Yes, absolutely. The curve of the Earth is marvellous. So that's another thing. How long have we done? We've done about 20 odd minutes. We ought to let people get on with their lives.
I'm sure there was something else we were going to talk about. Oh yeah.
Bed
There are
pans.
other things that there are kind of resolutions that I kind of have.
I gave up bread last year. I stopped it. I mean, I stopped commercial bread. And I lost a lot of weight, didn't I? And everyone was going, "Oh, Richard, you're wasting away. You're going to disappear down the drain." And I did for a while.
But I hooked him out again.
Which now I buy, where I can, heritage wheat, and I make my own bread, and I don't eat as much. And actually, one slice of that's very filling. It's different to commercial
Delicious bread he makes.
bread. And I did that as a sort of big. It wasn't really a resolution. It happened to be at the end of last year. And I've kept that up, and I very rarely, sometimes we'll have a French stick or something if we're out and it's just convenient, but that's beside the point. Mostly, I'll reduce that bread, and trying to reduce, of course, all the processed food.
Yes.
Because that's just nasty.
Nasty.
So yeah, what were you going to say about resolutions that you had that you haven't done?
Well, there's the white stuff.
What does that mean?
Sugar. I'm talking about sugar.
Oh, sugar. Yes, get rid of sugar.
The white death.
Yes,
So, yes.
it's evil.
I keep dropping down, and then it comes back up again. Like the amount of sugar I'm taking.
It's difficult
per
when you've
day.
got kids and they're on you, and you've got pressures and stuff. I
A,
think
it's
with
a
all-
comfort.
Yeah.
B, it's a bit of a boost for the energy.
Chocolate, that's full of sugar. If it's dairy chocolate, there's so much stuff that's got sugar in it, even if you don't think it's got sugar in.
Yeah.
It's got sugar in.
Must admit, I'm not too bad with chocolate. I can put chocolate aside and have a nibble, put it away. Have a
Biscuits,
nibble.
I stopped buying biscuits mostly. Occasionally, if I got guests and stuff, I'd buy. There's a couple of packets of biscuits you can't see just off the camera on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
They've been there about a month.
I was going to say I bought them about a month ago, just before we started baking some baking for Christmassy time.
Yeah. And Christmassy time is very difficult to avoid sugar there, isn't it? Unless you want a really miserable, grim Christmas. So
Bleak Christmas.
Yeah. But anyway, what are you doing? What are you doing in terms of New Year's resolutions or got plans this year? We'd love to see them in the comments. Do shove them down there.
Yes.
And we will be back, hopefully, full of beans and energy with lots more entertainment from the English couple.
Not too many beans there, yeah.
Not too many beans, because we don't want to be quilt lifters.
We don't want to feel the hot air balloon ourselves.
No, that we'll have a bottle for that. Anyway,
a methane tank to go self-sufficient.
Well, absolutely.
And cook on it.
Although we'll get all the deniers coming after it, not the deniers, the catastrophizers saying, "Oh, if you're farting, you're contributing to the atmosphere." Anyway, enough of that game banter. Let us.
You can't say that anymore.
Oh, you can't say that, can you? Everything, all those old phrases and things you can't say. But then,
Oh,
oh,
anyway,
madam,
sorry.
we better go.
Yes, we had.
Before we get pushed off. Yeah, all right, we're going. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Ta-ra for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Ah!